redefining fashion in the digital space.
Art point of view, I just feel like I want to look at my feed and I want to feel like it's something beautiful and it's something that I'm putting in effort in.
Her simple yet elegant styles are the rage.
For me, like when my content comes out great, it's because of team effort. It's because my photographer and my makeup artist and the location and the clothes, everything's come together.
NewsX influencer A-list proudly recognizes Shereen Sikka for influence in fashion. Hello and welcome. You're joining us in this very special interview as part of our NewsX influencer A-list series. Now, with us today is a very special guest with more than 341,000 followers on Instagram. She's breaking all style paths and indeed is a style crusader as far as Instagram and the internet is concerned. Shereen Sikka, thank you so much for being with us today, Shereen. It's an absolute pleasure to speak with you.
Thank you so much for having me. I cannot even tell you how excited I am for this. I have been excited all day and I cannot wait for these questions and I'm just really excited to be on the show.
Okay, likewise. Then let's just dive right into it without wasting any further time. Okay, so my first question for you is, we know Shereen as not Shereen Sikka, but as Shereen Lovebug. So if I have to go and find the real name behind Shereen Lovebug, I need to go deep into the internet to find Shereen Sikka. I want to know where exactly and how exactly did Shereen Lovebug come to be?
Okay, so you know what, people usually expect that there'll be some really deep meaning behind it, but actually there isn't. Okay, so when I first started off, I started off with my website, with my blog, which was loveandotherbugz.com, which kind of was a take on the movie, on a movie title that I really liked at that time, and I knew that I wanted love in the name of my blog or anything that I want to. Even if I did ever start a brand, I'm like, the name love has to be there, just because I really believe in the law of attraction and the power of vibration. So I'm like, love to it has to be there, just because I want to attract love and all of that. I was in that zone. So that's Love and Other Bugs came from. And so I was blogging for I think a year almost, and then when I started off on Instagram, when I had to choose my username, I'm like, it should kind of be an extension of what the blog is, and that's where I just kind of took love and bug and it sounded also like a cute little insect. So I'm like, this is what it's going to be. It's going to be Shereen Lovebug. And I really did not think at that time that it will become a thing or become something that people will kind of recognize.
Now it's your trademark, no? So now we know Shereen as Shereen Lovebug.
It wasn't a branding call. It was not intentional. I just want to keep it Shereen Love. How you make an email address sometimes.
Yeah. So you have a random cool or a random love or a random something there in your email ID.
So it was one of those things. I did not think that it would ever that I would continue to have it for so many years. It was a one-time thing.
And that you would indeed go ahead and become a style icon. Now, coming to that, Shereen, tell us more about that. Your Instagram and, the internet, basically, whatever styles you put out, extremely fashionable, trend-setting styles, to say the least. What is your inspiration, or rather, who is your inspiration?
Thank you so much for your kind words. First of all, thank you so much. See, a style icon, I don't know, but I have come from a fashion background, in the sense I've studied fashion, even throughout my school life. I knew there was one thing that I wanted to do was fashion. Till the third standard, maybe I thought that I want to maybe be an astronaut or something. But I think beyond that, my only career option was fashion, just because of how much I loved art. I still love to paint, and I love art in any form. So, I wanted to study fashion, and I went to London and I studied fashion design and marketing, because I loved fashion and I loved art and I loved aesthetic, but I did not want to construct clothes. And, when I was studying, I remember my parents also were like, but you have to design, you have to be a fashion designer. And I'm like, no, I want to learn fashion, but I don't want to design. I don't want to construct clothes, because that's a very different niche, I feel. It's very different.
Yeah.
So, at that time, styling wasn't even that huge. So I studied fashion marketing, thinking maybe I could work in a magazine or, just maybe a fashion PR house or something. So that's kind of where the background comes from. And then when I finished my studies, the first job that I ever landed was styling with Riya Kapoor. So that kind of gave me like the best insight that I could ever get in the fashion world.
So then what got you to, kind of like make yourself the model of these styles and kind of just go out there? Because planning and a lot of this is planning, so it's in the head, but it's also the execution of it, right? You have to be really good at putting it out in a certain way. And the way that your Instagram looks, it's absolutely gorgeous. How do you manage to get that aesthetic in? Is there a photographer that follows Shereen around for these gorgeous photographs? What exactly goes on behind the scenes? Help us understand.
So a lot of credit does go back to my styling background, because that's where I kind of made connections with really good designers. And that's where I kind of made my, I feel like I built a little bit of a network. And I think that for putting things together and putting looks together, and even when it comes to the aesthetic of my feed, it's kind of like styling a feed, right? So there's an app that I kind of use that I use to style my feed a little bit based on tones and colors and aesthetic, so that it looks good to me. And I know that a lot of people might not be seeing my feed every day, but I look at my feed and I want it to look really pretty. So so
it has to be satisfying, basically.
Yeah,
like look at,
as like this from an art point of view, I just feel like I want to look at my feed and I want to feel like it's something beautiful and it's something that I'm putting in effort in. And I do have some really talented photographers that I have the opportunity to work with, not depending on what my inspiration is, for my editorial or for my project, I pick and choose, but I have some really talented people. And I think it's, for me, like when my content comes out great, it's because of team effort. It's because my photographer and my makeup artist and the location and the clothes, everything's come together and worked really well. That's kind of what makes a successful like Instagram series or Instagram story.
My last question, Shereen, if there was one message in one sentence that you could put out there in the world, to all the people that are watching this and to all the people, in fact, that follow you, that take inspiration from you, what would it be?
One message. Ooh. To what age group are we giving this message?
Any and every person who's looking up to you.
I would say, something that I truly believe in is gratitude. And I feel like, a lot of people and me also till, a couple of years ago didn't realize the importance of gratitude. So be grateful for what you have today. Be grateful for the health that you have, the family that you have, and, for the career that you have. Just like, I think the moment you realize, how much good you have, everything just starts to get and better. So just be grateful for even the smaller things. And that's something I realized this year specifically, that I'm grateful that I'm healthy, my family is healthy, that I have a roof over my head. And that just makes you feel privileged in a way, makes you feel so good that you have everything and more that you need.
Absolutely. Shereen, it's been an absolute honor to have this conversation with you. And thank you so much for speaking with NewsX.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.